In the early 2000s, amid a deadly outbreak sweeping across England, a group of children, including Jimmy, is hidden in a house in the Scottish Highlands. As the adults prepare to escape, a horde of infected storms the settlement, attacking without mercy. No one is spared, children and adults alike fall. Within minutes, the village is destroyed. Amid the chaos, Jimmy's mother urges him to run. He flees to the village church at the edge, searching for his father. The pastor knows he cannot save himself. Instead, he gives Jimmy a cross necklace and tells him to leave. Jimmy ran, clutching the necklace, as his world burned behind him. This is 28 years later. 28 years after the rage virus spread, the story shifts to a remote island cut off from the mainland. Survivors there have built a strict, orderly life, relying on farming, plantations, and the sea for resources. Supplies are limited and carefully rationed from the village warehouse. On this quarantine island, Jamie wakes his 12-year-old son, Spike. Today, Spike will join a zombie hunt for the first time. Without much discussion, Jamie tells him to get ready. Spike packs his gear and takes the weapon prepared for him. This is no training, because the hunt leads to the mainland, where the infected still roam. Only fully trained villagers go, hailed as heroes, because they retrieve supplies that the island cannot produce. Spike lives with his mother, Isla, who has long been ill. Her condition worsens, marked by frequent hallucinations. She often talks to herself as if speaking to her deceased parents. That morning, after calming her, Spike offers a small portion of beef. Isla seems momentarily happy, but remains worried about Spike's safety. When Spike prepares to leave, Isla forbids him, believing he is too young and not ready for the dangers outside. To ease her mind, Spike lies, saying he is just going to school. Before departing, Spike meets Sam, a sculptor who gives him an arrow for protection. The villagers gather to see the team off. They pray for their safety and promise a celebration if Spike returns. At the village gate, the community leaders wait. Jenny, the respected head, gives final orders. She stresses this decision was serious. Though the minimum age for hunting is 14, Spike is deemed ready due to his strict upbringing by Jamie. Jenny delivers the most crucial rule. If Spike does not return, no one may search for him. This rule exists to prevent more deaths after many were lost in failed rescues. The gate opens, and Jamie and Spike leave the island, walking along a narrow path revealed only when the tide recedes. This is their sole access to the mainland. When the tide rises, the path will vanish, and swimming is impossible due to deadly currents. On the mainland, Jamie reminds Spike they have 4 hours before the water returns, cutting off their way back. Their first step takes them through a dead forest once used for firewood. Climbing a hill, Spike sees a vast land beyond and believes other villages still exist. Jamie does not deny this, but warns that leaving means abandoning the only safe place left. They press on into a dense forest untouched for years. There, they encounter a slow-moving zombie. Jamie instructs Spike to aim for the neck, explaining that his arrow lacks the power to pierce the chest or heart. From a safe distance, Spike draws his bow and shoots. The arrow strikes true, marking his first kill. Meanwhile, Jamie takes down 2 zombies with precise shots to the chest and head. Both fall immediately, yet one zombie, appearing to be a child, is spared intentionally. Jamie chooses not to finish it off. The journey continued toward a wide grassland where large herds of deer roamed freely. Nearby, they spotted an old, abandoned building. Although many hunters had likely searched it before, Jamie and Spike decided to investigate. Inside, the building was nearly empty. There were no supplies and no signs of life. Just as they were about to leave, the cawing of crows came from one of the rooms. There, a crow pecked at a zombie's body hanging upside down. Its head was covered, and strange symbols were carved all over its body. Jamie explained to Spike that this zombie had once been human and was punished in a brutal way before turning. He warned that out there, groups of humans could be more dangerous than the infected. Most likely, they were the ones who had hung the man, either as punishment or part of a ritual. He reminded Spike that the greatest threat was not just zombies, but other humans, who could be cruel and unpredictable. To prepare Spike mentally, Jamie ordered him to kill the zombie they found. Spike hesitated, but acted when the creature moved to attack.
Spike, finish it! Hit it!
He drew his bow and shot an arrow to the head, dropping it instantly. They pressed on. Deep in the forest, they discovered the carcass of a deer in terrible condition, its head and spine stuck in a tree trunk. Jamie recognized the work of a new kind of enemy, a faster, stronger zombie called the Alpha. known for killing by ripping out heads and spines. Alpha zombies keep trophies. Jamie urged Spike to leave the area quickly. Later, in an open field, they spotted a group of zombies moving oddly, led by an alpha. Jamie and Spike fought their way back while retreating.
Let's go!
Jamie took down several with precise arrows, but the zombies kept coming. Spike remained calm at first, but grew fearful as the situation worsened. His hands trembled, and his aim faltered. They found an empty building and hurried inside, climbing silently to the attic to hide. Meanwhile, back on the island, children attended school, learning to be hunters, farmers, and food gatherers. Archery lessons focused on hitting vital points, the heart and head, to stop zombies quickly. Elsewhere, island housewives prepared a welcome party, hoping for Spike's safe return. Back on the mainland, Jamie and Spike watched from the attic as the alpha zombie stood outside, silently observing. Jamie had no arrows left and chose not to fight. He knew the creature could only be stopped by constant attacks. Spike felt guilty over his mistakes, but Jamie reassured him. He believed Spike was already more prepared than many adults. That night, Spike saw a distant flame and asked about other villages. Jamie denied their existence, but seemed to hide something. He admitted he had never been near that area and felt the fire was a bad sign. Spike dreamed of his mother drowning in dark water and woke up sweating. Minutes later, the ground shook as a herd of deer stampeded past the old building, nearly causing it to collapse. Jamie warned that it was no longer safe and they had to leave. He insisted they return to the island before the tide rose. He told Spike to run fast if the alpha appeared. At the shore, the narrow path back was still visible, with water up to their shins. They pressed on. Suddenly, a flock of birds flew overhead, signaling danger. The alpha zombie appeared from the trees and chased them with terrifying speed. Although they were halfway along the path, it caught up quickly. They ran hard toward the island gate. Just as the alpha closed in, a guard shot multiple arrows, piercing its chest and stopping it temporarily. At the gate, Jenny hesitated before opening it. She checked their eyes carefully for signs of infection. After confirming they were safe, she finally opened the gate. Jamie and Spike had made it back. Jamie and Spike arrived on the island to a warm celebration. Amid the cheers, Jamie praised Spike's bravery, and the villagers joined in the festivities. Meanwhile, Spike was quietly handed some liquor. Feeling sick, he slipped away from the crowd. Outside, he saw Jamie sharing an intimate moment with a woman. Despite knowing his parents' strained relationship, Spike felt hurt and betrayed. Back home, Spike met Sam, a sculptor who helped care for his mother. During their talk, Spike confessed feeling unworthy of being called a hero. He had only managed to kill one slow zombie and admitted that fear caused him to miss shots when things got serious. Yet he also spoke with awe about the mainland. Sam reacted immediately. He said the fire Spike had seen likely came from where Dr. Kelson lived. This surprised Spike because Jamie had always said all doctors were dead, leading Spike to believe his mother could not be saved. Sam suggested that Jamie might be hiding the truth for their own good, but refused to explain more about Kelson. That night, Spike slept in his mother's room. The next morning, Jamie returned barely conscious. Spike kept his distance, but demanded answers about Kelson during breakfast. Jamie finally admitted that 15 years ago, he saw Kelson burn hundreds of corpses on the mainland. When confronted, Kelson showed no emotion. Since then, Jamie believed Kelson was mad. The villagers agreed never to go near Kelson's area, fearing him more than the zombies. Despite the warnings, Spike believed only Kelson could heal his mother. Angrily, he confronted Jamie about his forbidden relationship with another woman. Jamie snapped and slapped Spike. Scared and disappointed, Spike hugged his mother and sent Jamie out. Determined, Spike planned to take Isla to the mainland. That afternoon, he set fire to the village's storage warehouse to create a distraction. While the villagers fought the fire, Spike and Isla slipped away and crossed to the mainland. Along the way, Spike told his mother there was no going back. Their only hope was Dr. Kelson. Their journey began. Until nightfall, they saw no zombies. When rain started, they took shelter in an empty building. Spike intended to keep watch, but fell asleep from exhaustion. In the middle of the night, a large zombie approached. Isla woke first and killed it before it could attack. The next morning, Isla was confused and had no memory of saving them. Elsewhere, a group of soldiers was chased by a horde of zombies. Some were bitten and quickly put down by their comrades to stop infection. 3 survivors found refuge in an old building and fought off the attack. After securing the area, they explored a dark corridor. Suddenly, an alpha zombie appeared and attacked fiercely. 2 soldiers died, one with his head and spine ripped out, which is the alpha's signature kill. Only one soldier, named Eric, escaped the scene. Elsewhere, a group of zombies moved slowly along a river, including a pregnant female among them. Spike and Isla pressed on and soon reached a flower garden, which triggered Isla's old hallucinations. She began speaking as if conversing with her deceased father. Spike gently tried to calm her. Suddenly, a zombie appeared. Spike killed it immediately, but the noise attracted more zombies. Forced to hide, they took shelter in an abandoned gas station leaking fuel. Despite struggling to breathe, Spike remained alert to protect his mother. At a critical moment, Eric arrived, shooting the zombies and helping carry Isla, who was weakening. He joined Spike as they continued toward Dr. Kelson's location. Eric introduced himself as a Swedish soldier who had survived a shipwreck on Scotland's east coast. He explained that the area was fully quarantined and that soldiers called the Alpha Zombies Barzark. Because Kelson's place was still far away, they rested. During this time, Eric shared stories about the world before the pandemic, tales of technology, and old civilization that sounded like fairy tales to Spike. After their rest, they resumed the journey. Spike shared his father's theory that the alpha zombies grew large due to an infection similar to steroids, which sped up muscle growth. Soon, they found an abandoned train. Isla heard a sound and entered one of the carriages, where they discovered the pregnant female zombie about to give birth. Isla's maternal instincts took over, and she helped deliver the baby while Spike cut the umbilical cord. Suddenly, the zombie attacked, but Eric shot her dead immediately. Eric insisted that the newborn be killed as well. However, Spike and Isla refused. The baby appeared normal, showing no signs of infection despite being born from a zombie womb. Then, an alpha zombie appeared and launched a fierce attack. In a brutal strike, it ripped out Eric's head and spine, revealing itself as the mate of the female zombie they had just killed. Seeing his mate dead and the baby taken, the alpha, named Samson, went berserk, chasing Spike and Isla relentlessly. Spike fired arrows, but Samson's overwhelming strength soon took its toll. At this critical moment, Dr. Kelson appeared. Without a word, he injected Samson with morphine and Cillin. The sedative worked instantly, stopping Samson's rampage. Kelson referred to the zombie as Samson, showing he had known him for 3 years. He revealed that he survived the rage virus by coating his body with iodine, which was thought to neutralize the virus on the skin. Before the sedative wore off, Kelson took Spike and Isla to his base called Miminturi, a reminder that all living things must die. At the base's center stood a tower made of human skulls surrounded by tall bone poles. Upon arrival, Kelson cremated Eric's body. His ashes and skull were added to the tower as part of a ritual. For Kelson, memory was the place where the dead continued to live. Spike explained the baby's origin. Kelson called it a biological miracle. He said the mother's placenta likely filtered the rage virus, shielding the fetus. Yet he warned that the baby urgently needed breast milk or a substitute. Without it, if given only water, the baby might survive for just days. That night, Dr. Kelson examined Isla without any modern tools, relying solely on his experience and careful observation. The diagnosis was grim. Isla was likely suffering from aggressive cancer that had spread from her brain throughout her body. The disease had reached its final stage, and with limited medicine, Kelson had no cure to offer. Spike listened in despair and begged Kelson to try anything to save his mother. Kelson explained that he could not cure Isla due to the lack of equipment and medicine. Isla understood her time was near and did not want Spike to carry the burden. She signaled Kelson to help her end her suffering peacefully. Kelson told Spike that there is a good death, one born from love and peace, which helped Spike begin to accept the truth. Before passing, Isla entrusted the baby girl to Spike. She then followed Kelson into the forest to end her pain. Shortly after, Kelson returned alone, carrying Isla's skull as a mark of respect. Spike placed the skull atop the bone tower, a final tribute to his mother. The next morning, Samson, the alpha zombie they had subdued, returned once the sedative wore off. Furious, he attacked and broke into their hiding place. Spike and Kelson fled into an underground hole. When Kelson nearly died, Spike acted quickly, injecting the last of the sedative into Samson and saving them both just in time. With the danger contained, Kelson left the choice to Spike, whether to return to the village or forge a new path. Spike made a surprising decision. He left the baby girl in a basket at the village gate, then turned and headed back to the mainland. Soon after, Ginny found the baby at the gate and brought her to Jamie. Inside the basket was a letter from Spike. He wrote that he was fine, asked not to be searched for, and promised to return when ready. Spike chose to leave the village to train himself, build survival skills, and explore the wildlands. In his notes, he wrote that Dr. Kelson was not the madman the villagers feared, but someone who understood life and death deeply. They named the baby Isla, after her mother, as a tribute and a new beginning. 28 days after leaving, Spike was seen surviving alone in the wild. Now stronger and more focused, he fought off a group of zombies with precision and calm. During the battle, Jimmy, the boy saved at the start of the story, stepped out from the trees. He was now grown and leading a skilled survival group. He praised Spike's skills and joined the fight as another wave of zombies approached. Jimmy's comrades appeared, dressed in striking gear and fighting with acrobatic skill. They quickly dispatched the zombies, demonstrating how survival had become their way of life. After the fight, Jimmy introduced himself properly and offered Spike a place in his group. Spike did not answer immediately. The film ends. So the moral of the story is always pack baby formula, just in case your zombie adventure turns into daycare.